it. It's like jelly, okay?
What is that?
That's the carbon.
Carbon buildup.
That's the carbon. Look at the rotors that are behind you on the shelf. They're all black.
Yeah.
And they're crunchy. You could take a scraper and scrape them and they'd be crunchy. Okay? That crunchy is our enemy. We want to get rid of it, but we don't want to do it obtrusive. We want to do it like a surgeon. We want to, you know, we don't want to use rib spreaders. We want to use cameras like the new surgeons do, right? So you use this. It's non-obtrusive, very corrosive, bad on the hands. So I've soaked this thing, and when I'm done soaking it, it looks like this. I'm going to do this other side. And then I'm going to do the other sides of the rotor. Now look at the side that I just whisked off. You can see where the injectors were spraying gas. You can see that the dish is clean. You can see this is clean. When I'm all done with this, I'm going to water wash it, and I'm going to have Alex wire wheel it with a brass wire wheel, just to get rid of any of the signs of this, just for kicks. It really, I used to do it for years without wire wheeling. Okay? So, how do I clean this? I lay it on its side. First thing I go, soft nylon brush. Okay?
It's coming right off.
Take this soft nylon brush and look at that. It just whisks right off. It's like oven cleaner. Okay?
It smells better than oven cleaner.
It does.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you gag.
And then I take my nose picker and I'm looking for a corner seal spring. But I've been having Alex, my guy, my cleaner, strip these down, and of course there's no corner seal in it. Okay. Then I told you I was going to take this and I was going to do outside. Then I was going to do inside. Then this is just in case there's a crunch of carbon in there. You'd be surprised where carbon gets. Okay. I'm going to go on the outside ring. Okay.
So carbon's a good thing then. When you pull one of these rotors out, you want to see carbon, or
or
you don't want to see it.
This is freshening it up. We want it nice and clean and just steel.
No, I mean when you're taking your engine apart.
No, you still don't want to see carbon.
You don't want to see it.
Nope. So then I told you I had this bent side seal, right?
Okay.
If it breaks, it's even better because that jagged edge produces more. But watch the carbon come out.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. It's like Jell-O. If I were to take a rotor off the shelf and shove this in there, it would just bend this and break it and be and then I take a stone like that and I mean it could be a mess. But look at how non-obtrusive this is.
Yeah.
That's clean. And I go until when you go on this, the springs are wavy and you'll feel on the bottom when all the little bits of the wave are gone. And now it's all gone. And I'll use a solvent to allow me to slide through there to where it's nice and slick. Here comes the next one. See, and I get about a half a teaspoon between all four sides. Okay? Which is so much better than the RX-8.
And why is that?
Because the RX-8 has a convoluted area where the carbon can get in, and the seals are 15 degree like that.
Is that it?
And look at how close the seals are to the combustion chamber on that.
But that's
Yeah.
not an 8 rotor though. These are, aren't they?
Huh?
Are these 8s?
No, these are right here.
That one's like
It's got a cutout. An RX-8
Oh, I see it on the edge.
rotor has a cutout
The
on the
tailing
side.
edge, right?
Yeah.
The trailing edge.
Okay. So after I've done all three of those sides, now I'm going to go to
Ouch.
like something a little less intrusive than that steel one.
That's a nice gouge in that rotor up on that.
Yeah, what happened here, Kurt?
Automatic.
Apex seal just broke?
Yeah, I've had all kinds of fails. Now see, I didn't go to the steel brush first, because look at what the brass one's doing. The brass one's doing an awesome job. Why do I need to use steel on it?
Right.
Why do I have to put a scratch on it? And if you notice, it's just here, and here, and on the leading edge is where that builds up. And then I'll go around the inside and inside the pockets so that it weighs the same if there was any carbon in there. Now, it's time to clean the face. And look at how it just cleans right off. Yeah, that little bit right there with that little pattern on it is from my basket. This was the downside in the basket. Now, what I don't get off right now, I'm going to have Alex get off with a wire wheel. But look at how easy this comes out. I'm telling you, the Berryman carb cleaner, it has to be replaced. It'll go dead after about 10 engines. It costs 70 bucks for a 5-gallon can of it. But let me say this. 70 bucks, 10 engines, $7 an engine. Come on. Just do it and throw it away.
$7 to put together a darn good.
Yeah, a good engine, one that's non-obtrusive, that hasn't been, and don't soak them like, well, Kurt said 24 hours was minimum, so I'm going to soak them for 10 days. You know what you're going to do? You're going to ruin the bearings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They'll eat them up, huh?
Where do you get this Berryman's?
Berryman, you can get the small buckets that'll do one rotor at a time at your local CarQuest or Napa. But really, the best place to get it in the Northwest is a place called Christensen Oil in St. Helens. Okay, so am I done? No. Next thing I do is I grab one of my junk Apex seals. I'll take, now notice, this is that two-piece one. See how it's got the bevel on it? I take the lower half that's got the little lip for the spring, and now I get all the gook out of the bottom of this thing. And sometimes that's got a big old chunk of something right there.
So it has to be smooth down there.
Yeah.
You know, it's because we all have like Apex seals just laying around in our shop. So
Well, no, when you tear the engine down,
we're getting
when
our
you're
old
tearing
ones.
the engine down, that's what you're trying to salvage. Is you're trying to get cleaning tools out of it. And the side seals, you want to reuse as many side seals as you can. Now, if you're all rusted up, if you've got a water seal problem like what Darren was having, what you do is you take it to the brass wheel. You brass wheel all the rust off from it, off the sides. These seals will be stuck in it. You'll go until this starts getting shiny all the way down, and the seals, and then you aren't caring about the seals. You aren't caring about salvaging those. You're caring about getting them out of the bores. So you wire wheel it all down with the brass wheel, and then you take that thing and you shove it in that carb cleaner for maybe 48 hours. You say, well, won't that ruin the bearing? It might, but you might salvage your rotor. Okay? Now, if it ruins the bearing, what do? You call Atkins, have them send you one of those $70 brass pieces, and you press a new bearing in.
Or they bring it to you.
So, yeah, and that's easy. You know, I can, if you've got the bearings on you, I can press them in there for 20 bucks. It's not a big deal. Okay. So I'm going to do all three because I just want to be consistent with this rotor. And you can see the gook that comes out of it. It just looks like Jello. And of course the nylon brush did not take it all out. So my exact next step is to go to brass and take those problem areas around the corner seal, give them a good whisk. And then from this point, this rotor is ready to be water washed. Now when I water wash it, I'm going to set it down with the gear side down on a piece of flat concrete. Okay? And I'm going to blow in there into the cavity, and it's going to start filling this thing up. And as it fills it up, that Berryman sludge starts coming and flowing out. Okay, let me show you. And then the air dry and the polishing will be up to Alex. But let me show you. Here, I'm going to put this on jet. Water wash is always the way to go in any internal combustion engine. See the sludge?
Yeah.
Now if you start your engine with that sludge in there, it's your own darn fault. You say, well, I cleaned it in solvent, I cleaned it in dirty solvent, and clean solvent, and I soaked it in Berryman. Now what do? Wash it. See how it's coming out? It's still coming out. I want to go until it's clean enough to drink out of. Okay? And then I want to do this. Okay? Now at this point, I have one crudely, almost ready, clean rotor. Look at it.
Nice.
Yeah, it almost looks
See
cool
that?
already. I mean, compared to what it looked like
now,
when it started.
in 19, let me say this, in 1993, when I was building engines, I just blow this off with compressed air, I'd be done. Okay? If it was my own car, I just blow off compressed air, be done. But what we do now is we use that brass wheel there, and we do it. Okay? Now, compressed air is always the best, but for lack of time.